Hello there, my Gemini gang. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you your monthly reading for January 2022. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Without further ado, we will get started here. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button below as we move forward. I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck for my readings. That's my go-to deck. And as we step into your energy here for the beginning of the month for you, Gemini, we have 4 cards that come up. We have the Knight of Swords, accompanied with the Queen of Cups, with Temperance, right? A need for a little bit of balance and some alchemy with it all, and the Seven of Wands. So really what I'm feeling with this, all of these cards here, I know that you know that probably all of your friends come to you for advice because Geminis give the best advice, right? And so now it's time for you to kind of take a step back and listen to your own advice, right? Say, what is it that I need to do? And then maybe take a step forward in following your advice, right? So what advice would you give yourself in this situation? Understand that you have really good judgment, you have sound judgment, and so it's about following that, understanding that it's about trusting your own judgment, trusting your own advice as you move forward with this. I do feel as though you might be tempted to give somebody a piece of your mind, right? Like I feel you might feel like you're fine, but you're not fine, and things could maybe blow up to a point where you are literally telling somebody off. So that's something to be mindful of as you move forward. I feel like you could also be, maybe it's kind of working on the other side of that too, where you could be receiving a tempting offer, where you could feel like, gosh, I really feel like I want to pursue that. And so then do you want to pursue that? And maybe that's the advice that you need to take a moment to ponder and move forward with that. So I feel like maybe through all of this though, there's a potential for you to possibly give too much of yourself, right? And it's time at the end of that to really make sure that whatever you're doing, that you have yourself on some solid ground, you have solid footing, right? Because this is somebody who has to put their defenses up, really defend themselves, defend their decisions, right? And so I feel like whatever you're doing, make sure that you're not giving up too much of yourself or too much of your time or too much of your energy into something that you are not giving back to yourself ultimately in the end. So make sure that you do what makes sense for you. Ultimately, what makes you should be your priority, right? Your self-care, what makes you happy. That should be the ultimate goal as you are thinking about what it is that you want to do about the situation, okay? Moving into the second week, the 9th through the 15th, we have the King of Wands with the King of Cups, okay? Now, notice that these two kings come out together. When they come out, they're actually back to back, so they're not even facing each other. And it's like a duel, right? That's what I feel with it. It's like a duel, where you have like two people and then they have their backs to each other. And then all of a sudden they have to take 10 paces and then turn and shoot. So that's really what I feel is kind of happening with this. Now, there is a unwavering power within this couple, within these two kings, right? And so this could be you and somebody else. This is really what I'm feeling with it. It's two different people, you and someone else. So it could be within this relationship, maybe in this dynamic, within a family, whatever that looks like for you, however that resonates. There's unwavering truth, there's unwavering power in both parties, right? Maybe this little stubbornness kind of sneaks up on you and it creates a bit of a division, okay? There's this stark contrast where, you have the wands and then you have the cups. So the wands is this fiery, passionate energy where it could be very constructive if it's channeled properly, but it also can be very edgy where it could be turned into anger very quickly. And then the cups are, this emotional, watery, like lovey-dovey type energy, but that can be very tumultuous, right? There could be a lot of emotionally charged situations that, come up. And so then mixing all of this together, it's just an ill-fated type of, situation. Okay, that's the words that Spirit is using, ill-fated. And so that's what is coming up. It's destined to fail, right? As you kind of look at the dynamic of all of that, it might appear sturdy, right? Because you got two kings, right? And you both have great power. You both have great authority. You both have no problem standing in your truth or speaking your truth, right? And that looks like, yeah, that's great, that's wonderful. But understand that now putting that all together, there could be rapid cycles of changes, rapid cycles of contrast, and all of it is kind of working against each other because neither will give an inch. Right? They're very strong. And that's not a bad thing. That is looking at that for what it is. And now understand, too, that as these extremes are popping up, it's hard to keep up with that dynamic. It's exhausting. That's really what I'm feeling with that. Where it's like, Spirit used the word like white hot. So it's like super intense, overzealous, lots of enthusiasm going into it. And then there's this cycling down into this very like tepid type energy, like lukewarm energy, where it's just not as charged with great emotion or great physical stuff, And so putting this all together, we really have to understand that there's like two sides to every story, right? And so that this is something that you might want to think about as you move forward. I do feel like there's caution that needs to be exercised here in terms of what it is that you're building and what you're investing in, because when you're wanting so much out of this relationship, you got to think about like when a knight comes in the tarot. The knight, they come in slow, but something that's built out of coming in slow, it has a tendency to have a little bit more of a solid foundation versus something that comes in and they're already built. And so it's kind of like thinking about like a king being set and stuck in their ways, right? And so think of like a knight being a little bit more malleable in terms of compromise and building together and that kind of thing. Being a little bit more immature, they have a tendency to grow with you, right? And so I think that that's kind of something to look at in terms of a dynamic that you're looking at, be it a relationship, an actual romantic relationship that you're in, which is what I feel that this is for somebody out there for sure. Or a dynamic just in general, that you're working with. So, I feel, think about your investments and don't just throw caution to the wind. Really think about that and think about what it is that you're wanting to get out of that, and make the right decision for yourself. Moving into the 16th through the 22nd, we have the Two of Cups with the Hermit card with the Tower card. So this looks a little bit scary, right? We always get this Tower card, we're like, oh my gosh, they're jumping from a burning building. But like, the foundation's pretty solid. You're pretty solid. And I always think of, with this Tower card, Spirit has sent me that song by Maren Morris, The Bones Are Good, right? Like, everything could fall apart, but the bones are good, right? Like, so you, at your core, you could be shook, but at your core, like, you're still intact. You are who you are. And yes, it might change you going forward, but you have this resilience within you to make it through anything. And so I love that so much. And so with this Tower card for you, Gemini, I really feel like there comes a sense of nobility, and the word divinity kind of comes in with this. So we're talking about our principles, our religion, our ideals really coming into question this week, okay? So with this, I'm thinking like maybe you've dabbled in a lot of different things in your life, but I'm thinking like I'm hearing like jack of all trades, master of none, right? So as you've dabbled through a lot of things, you know a little bit about a lot of things, but you're not really an expert about a lot of things or anything at all, right? And so, it's important to be mindful of that as you move forward this week, because I feel as though it's going to come into play that things are going to be questioned, or things are going to come up where you are going to have to share your ideas, share your vision, share your knowledge with other people, and it's just going to be one piece of the puzzle, so to speak. And so with this, you're going to have to kind of work with a whole bunch of people to make that whole picture. Okay, and so I know that this is kind of confusing, but the words share and share alike are coming through. So you sharing your vision, your dreams, your goals, your ideals, what you know, and it's going to contribute, but it's only going to be one piece of that pie. And so as you do that, you allow others to share theirs, and then that's another piece, and then more and more share theirs, and it's another piece, and then eventually you get the whole vision or the whole pie. Now for you, I feel as though this is going to be feeling a little bit to you like, man, this is really cramping my style, because now I have to accommodate all of their knowledge, all of their ideas, all of their visions, and we all have to like work together to make this whole vision. And you're going to come up, it's going to be like going to the drawing board. And you know what I feel like with that is, I think it's like a vignette. I think it's called a vignette. I might be wrong, but it's where they draw like a circle and they put like one general, what they're working on in it, and then they have like all of these offshoots, and everybody writes different things in it, and then you have to like make it all work, accommodating everybody. And so you feel like, man, I don't know if I can do all of that. So you're getting a little bit overwhelmed with that. You feel as though maybe you can't perform your duties. You feel maybe as though you can't act like yourself as you try to accommodate all of that. It might interfere. You might be very passionate about your views, and so it might interfere and cause a little bit of resentment. And so just honor that. Just honor all of these feelings. Honor the whole process. I do feel like there's in that bigger picture, as you start to see everybody else's view and you see the bigger picture coming together, it may not look like anything at this point in time, but I think as you work through that over time, you're gonna see like aha moments appear for you where you start to adapt to it and adopt different viewpoints, and it's just gonna create this, and I'm getting like chills with it, I love it so much, create this beautiful flow of energy, and it will spark new creative ideas for you, and I love that. So just be open to that as you work through some of that. So moving into the 23rd through the 31st, we have the Chariot with the Magician with the Hierophant. Okay, so I love this. This is like a moving on, moving forward, right? But you manifested this, and then boom, it looks surface level like it's a traditional thing, but it is far from ordinary. It is so much more than tradition will speak to, right? So much more than what tradition will attest to. This is magic. You're the magician, right? You manifested this. And so I love that, Gemini. And so this is remarkable. Spirit's like, this is like a cause to celebrate, like clapping, hooray, right? It's remarkable. And I'm hearing like, oh gosh, it's Diana Ross, I think it is. Like, I feel like you're up, like shouting from the rooftops, like making a huge announcement. You're super ecstatic about this. Like, and then that song by Diana Ross, like, I'm coming out and I want the world to know. So, like, you are out there spreading love, like, really doing your thing. And I feel that this is exactly what you're meant to be doing. So, it's far from ordinary. Understand that this is extraordinary and celebrate it for, you know, exactly what it is. And so, again, it appears to be traditional on the surface, but it is far from that. And so it is a cause to celebrate. Allow yourself to be celebrated. Allow the circumstances to be celebrated. Allow the love that you're manifesting to be celebrated. Not just the love that you're manifesting within yourself, but the love that you're manifesting for others and through others and through your actions. And so I love the energy that's coming in with this. I feel like going forward, it can usher in a whole new era for you in terms of like wow factor of exactly what you're capable of, knowing what you're capable of, knowing what your worth is, and moving forward. So beautiful energy for you, Gemini. Overall advice now, Spirit. I ask usually for one card for the advice. You got 4 cards, so I'm just going to roll with it because that's what came out. So we have the 8 of Cups, leaving situations. I love this card. This is my favorite card of the whole deck. I love leaving situations that do not fulfill me. And I will walk away and I will have 0 F's about it. So if that's what you're doing, Gemini, amen. Like, more power to you. So this is what I'm feeling. This is overall advice. Leaving situations that are not serving you, like walking away from 8 cups because you want your full 10 of cups, and the 10 of cups even came out with it too. You're looking for your full 10 of cups, your unicorns, your rainbows, your sparkles, your amazement, being in awe of the miracles that are showing up for you, and the dancing and the sunshine and all of the good things, and feeling all the feels and warms and fuzzies with it. Now the moon kind of comes up with this, and I'm going to get to that in a second, because the moon attests to something that's hidden. For you, I feel this is hidden talents that could be surfacing, or maybe that you're some talents that you're unaware of that will be revealed to you in time, okay? And then there's anxiety about it all, right? Like the 9 of Swords here, you get a little overwhelmed about it, and that's okay, that's normal, right? But this is worth it, okay? This anxiety, it's like a good anxiety. Like when you go to an interview and you get anxious about it, but it like keeps you on your toes because you want to be on point during your interview, so you do a really good job. This is the type of anxiety. It's not like a, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to do this, right? It's a, oh geez, it's like a anxiety that's like a nervous, excited anxiety. And so it's low level, low key. And so, at the bottom of all of that, we have the star on the bottom of the deck. So all your hopes and your dreams are kind of playing into this. And so it's attesting to the fact that, yes, you still have things to discover about yourself in terms of your hidden talents, things that you aren't even aware that you're capable of, which we talked about. But again, assume all of that risk because all of your dreams, all of your hopes are at stake here, and you don't want to be on the other side of that and feel any regret about not chasing your dreams and not going for the gold, okay? So with this, I really hear from Spirit, it's a Casey Musgrave song, follow your arrow wherever you may roam. So no matter what is happening around you, no matter what anybody else is saying, follow your path. Follow what you know to be true for you. Follow what makes you happy. Go where you are wanted. Go where you feel loved. Go where you feel like you make the biggest difference, right? Do all the things because this is what we're here for. Again, I did a reading yesterday, and just claim it with me, man. I am here for it. And so if you are here for it, Gems, let me know. I am here for it. And so if you feel that, like on a deep soul level, because I'm getting all the chills with that, this is your reading. That is without a doubt your reading. So if you have another Gemini that is near and dear to your heart and you would like to share this with them, you feel inclined to share this with them so they can benefit from hearing the message as well, please do share that with them so that they can hear this. beautiful reading as well for them for January 2022. As always, I'll be back with a read for you guys again soon. If you're interested in your own personal reading, you can hit me up on Facebook at Enchanted Emerald Healing, or you can hit me up in the description box below here on the YouTube at the Square site to purchase a reading, a personal reading session or healing session. Or you can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com. And I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of the month. And take care. I'll be back soon.